Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all to the October 7th Water Committee meeting. And as always, I'd like to acknowledge that we are meeting today on the traditional unceded territory of the Comox First Nation. The first we do have most of the directors in the room. There's a couple that may come online at some point. The first item on the agenda is the resolution status report. Okay. Moved and seconded. And are there any questions or comments about that report? Seeing none, is there anyone opposed to receipt? Seeing none, that's carried. And the next item is the Comox Valley Water Management Advisory Minutes. Okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion on those minutes? Seeing none, anyone opposed to receipt? Seeing none, that's carried. Thank you. And the next item is the EV charger budget amendment, and we'll get the motion for okay. Moved and seconded, and we'll turn it over to staff to speak to the item. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Kaylee Liemert, our water and wastewater analyst, will be introducing this report and available for discussion. Kaylee.
Thanks. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. Through the CO to the Chair and Directors. The staff report requests a budget amendment to install a 200 kilowatt level 3 fast charger and associated transformer at the Comox Valley Water Treatment Plant. The current level 2 chargers installed at the Comox Valley Water Treatment Plant, while mostly adequate for charging vehicles overnight, are not adequate for charging vehicles on standby when operators take vehicles home to respond to emergencies. Over the spring and summer, we investigated options for installing the charger within the existing budget. An option was identified to install a 200 kilowatt charger using the existing transformer. However, it would be limited to 50 kilowatts until a future transformer would be installed. The budget increase of $74,000 is recommended to be funded by a transfer from internal cost of carbon reserve, which is collected from all CVRD service areas which are tracked under the Corporate Energy Emissions Plan for the purpose of funding the carbon reduction projects. The approval of the budget amendment and upgrade to a 200 kilowatt level 3 charger will remove a major hurdle to fleet electrification, key step towards meeting CVRD's Corporate Energy Emissions Plan. That's all from me, but happy to take any questions.
Great. Thank you so much for the report. And I'll turn it over to questions or discussion. I don't see any lights. And is there anyone, or I guess we'll we'll vote on receipt first. Anyone opposed to receipt? Oh, go ahead, Director Grieve.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just thought of a quick question. Are these fast charger level 3 chargers actually coming down in price as they make more of them, whatever? I mean, are we looking at a substantial increase so they'll be more available for, you know, other charging stations, etc.?
I'm not sure, Kaylee, if you've got sort of a market comparison on price of these. We can certainly find out whether that's the case, Director Grieve.
It's just more of a curiosity, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I've got recent quotes for this options, but I don't have the history of how it's gone through.
And where are they made?
It's a good question. I can look into it.
Okay, so perhaps for a future meeting, we might get that information. It's not pressing, I don't think. Is it, Director Grieve? Okay, thank you. Okay, anyone opposed to receipt? Seeing none, we'll move on to the recommendation. Moved and seconded, and any discussion on the recommendation, which is to approve the increase for the installation of the level 3 fast charger. Seeing no discussion, all in favor? Anyone opposed? Seeing none, that's carried. Thank you. And the next item is the water restrictions dashboard. Seconder? Okay, thank you. And I think we have Mike to talk about the dashboard. Thank you.
Thank you. Through the chair. The Comox Valley water restrictions dashboard is attached to the agenda, and it's basically a couple of highlights I'll point out over the Comox Valley system. This year was, a very long, hot, dry summer, and we used a lot of water, as we'll talk about in the consumption report next. But the Comox Lake went down to about 133 meters. So it's measured in geodetic above sea level. So 133 meters above sea level is the top water line. Just for context, last year was very similar. Both years we had a good snowpack to start the summer off, which carried us into the summer. And 2 years ago in 2023, we were down about 2 meters lower. It was like a 131, which was, if you remember, was a really hot. It was a drought, and it was also one of the smaller snowpacks. So you can see just the relationship between the snowpacks and how our lake is. Other than a lot of consumption in July, it was our highest month. The rest of the watershed, Comox Valley water system kind of looked average. It was long and hot, dry summer, as I said. So we did use a lot of water, but the lake was operated very well this year by BC Hydro. They took the river flow down. They got down to 11.3 cubic meters a second in the river, which is just 1.1 cubic meter a second above the threshold where we go to stage 3. So that, they know that number, and they were able to comfortably keep it at that level so we could remain on stage 2 and not go to stage 3 this year. We were very close, but they just raised it last week with the rain coming. They've increased the flows. So I'd say we're out of the woods there. One other thing just at the bottom in our little what's new box there, I just wanted to mention too, we were looking in 2025 at moving, I guess, due to some development and different kind of road driving patterns. We were looking at moving some of our water restriction signs, and took the opportunity to kind of redesign them, make them a little more kind of simple, streamlined, and also add some different tech to them. So there's one on Ryan Road Hill as you're heading up the hill. If you remember the old one, it had been snowplow beaten, so it was hanging off, and it was only kind of one-sided. So we've made them two-sided, and we've put LED lights in them that we can change remotely, so that when stage 1 starts on July 1st, or stage 2 starts July 1st, and that happens to be on a weekend, we can still make that change instead of, we used to do it on a Friday or Monday. So it wasn't totally accurate for the public. But anyway, those are the new signs. We're working with the city staff and town staff to try to relocate them into better kind of more high view locations. And yeah, other than that, I mean, if anyone has any questions about either the Comox Valley system or any other system, I'm here to answer your questions.
Great, thank you. And I have noticed the signs this year. They're quite prominent. Okay, we'll turn it over to some questions. We have, I believe, Councillor or Director Cole Hamilton.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Chair. And thanks, for the report and definitely the signs. I think the LEDs were a great idea. I think it makes it much more visible. I was wondering, when we have changes in restrictions, is there any way of indicating that, perhaps by having them flash for a period, or just something to draw people's attention that it's not, you get used to seeing it after a while, and you might not notice there are now 3 dots rather than 2, but
Right.
I don't know what possibilities there are for that, but it seems like an effective means of communication, and maybe there are ways we can just tweak it to make it more visible when changes happen.
Okay, well, I'll look at the programming. I don't think that's a feature. One thing we are doing is, I've noticed driving up the hill at nighttime, it's kind of hard to see the words. You just see the lights. So we're going to be putting some light bars at the top, and their photo cell, so they'll be off in the day, on at nighttime. So that might make them more visible.
Sounds good. Okay, thanks though, Mike.
Thank you. And we'll move over to Alternate Director Wills.
Thanks, Chair. And yeah, I live about a block away from the one on Ryan Road, so I get to see it fairly often. And I totally agree with the comments that it looks great. One of the things that you mentioned on that nighttime is possibly using reflective lettering, so that when lights hit it, it actually reflects back, which then you don't even have to have lights necessarily. But yeah, that was about the only thing that I found challenging with it. But once your headlights hit it, it's better, except on my bicycle. It's not bright enough.
Okay, I don't see any more lights. So is there anyone opposed to receipt of the report? Seeing none, that's carried. And the next item is the water supply system consumption report. Okay. Moved and seconded, and back to Mike. Thank you.
Thank you, through the chair. Yeah, just on this one, I mean, it's all very consistent, as you know, looking at these consumption reports, when you're comparing month to month or year to year, it's always very much weather dependent. How much it's rained or not has a huge impact on that monthly consumption. Just some highlights: in July of 2025, we set 3 records. The highest peak day, 53 million liters. The highest average day was in July as well. So that was for the whole month. We averaged 45 million liters a day. And the highest month, that was a 35-day month. So it was high, but it was 1.6 million cubic meters. So yeah, July was very hot and we used a lot of water. Other than that, there's nothing other that jumps out unless you have specific questions.
Okay, thank you. And do we have any questions? And alternate Director Wells.
Thanks, Chair. Just on the trends, looking like year over year, and as you know, consumption increases, is there a point where that trend becomes problematic, where better messaging might be required, or potentially more tools to help control the usage of water?
I would say through where we have our biggest problems is the peak time. So as you know, we have 2 peaks a day. We have a peak in the morning, kind of when everyone's getting up and showering, getting ready for work, and then we have a peak in the evening, same time when everyone comes home and kind of is making dinner. And those are also coincide with the sprinkler time. So we've been looking at trying to come up with a different strategy for the irrigation timing and how that works under our water restriction bylaw. And there are some kind of unique solutions to getting that, like something like the garbage days, how they're in different zones, and splitting them up. Messaging becomes an issue. So we are looking at that right now through our water master plan, which will be coming to you shortly in draft form. Some ideas that are coming out through that report that we can talk about and bring to the table here for you guys to discuss.
Thanks so much.
Great, thanks, Mike, and thanks for mentioning the master plan. When do we expect that coming to the committee?
We just had a draft meeting today with the consultants. So I'm not sure. I'm sorry, I don't know when that might be coming forward, but it would be within the next, I think probably I'd say 2 meetings in draft form. I'm not sure of the timing on how we have that set.
Okay, thank you.
It's getting close.
I think we're definitely waiting in anticipation, because there's a lot of, I know the city and probably the town as well is looking at how they're going to take a look at that and implement any changes. Okay, I don't see any more lights on, and there's no recommendation here. So is there anyone opposed to receipt? Seeing none, that's carried. And we are at the end of business. Thanks. I'll just make a comment after termination. It is game day for the Blue Jays. I apologize to anyone who's a New York Yankees fan, but well, we do have some more business with a board meeting before we can all rush home. So